How's it going, everybody? This is Beat the Bush. Did you guys know that in marketing circles, there's a term called Henry, high earner, not rich yet? This term refers to a class of people which they can target to make a lot of money off of. Today, I'm going to talk about how you can avoid the not rich yet distinction and save more money and become actually rich. This video is brought to you by Webull. Now you can get $5 of free Shiba Inu as well as 2 free shares of stock just for opening up an account and depositing just 1 penny for the 2 free shares of stock. And if you just trade $1 of cryptocurrencies, you can get $5 of free Shiba Inu. Check out my referral link down in the video description below. How high an earner? Makes around 100 to 250K a year. If you're a household, roughly double this. They represent just 13% of all US households. On average, they have about 214K of assets. The breakdown is 72K in deposits such as checking and savings accounts, 42K in stocks, 4K in bonds, 79K in mutual funds, and 17K in other assets. 214K may be a lot to some people, but you have to look at this in a relative sense. This is not a lot of money compared to their annual income. Annual discretionary spending, which is optional spending that you do not need to make in order to survive, comes in at 86K for millennial Henrys, 67K for Gen X Henrys, 60K for baby boomer Henrys. I want to point out the obvious here where older people actually have less discretionary spending. Not that they have less money. Usually they have more money the older that you get. But I attribute this to older people. Maybe they have a little bit more wisdom. Maybe they don't want to show off as much. Maybe they're not going out as much. So you end up with less spending as you get older. This is a little bit depressing because as I am getting older, my expenses certainly drops lower and lower. It's the keeping up with the Joneses lifestyle inflation that keeps these people from saving. 57% are male, 43% are female. The median age is 39, 68% are married, 62% Caucasian, 13% Hispanic, 10% Asian, 8% African American, and 7% other. 56% are college educated or higher. The median income is 177K, 79% are homeowners, and you gotta look at the title of some of these articles. The targets luxury brand have dreamt of. It's obvious, high earners have a lot of money and they're willing to spend it on luxury goods. What kind of brands are Henry's fond of? Canada Goose, Tag Heuer, Kiehl's, and Jeep. Why are these high earners not saving money? It's a typical paycheck to paycheck problem here. High housing costs keep people from saving. High student loan debts on average is about $80,000. High spending on luxury goods and also lifestyle inflation. I'd say most at risk of lifestyle inflation would be doctors, lawyers, and dentists. Software engineers would likely make that much as well on the high end of the pay scale. But in my experience, engineers are not as flashy. There will be a little bit of it, but nowhere as difficult as being a doctor or a dentist. People in these high-end professions have a sort of requirement to keep up with the Joneses because if all your friends are spending at a high rate, they're going to fancy restaurants, you kind of need to also do the same or else you might be left out, kind of be like a black sheep or whatnot. It's easy to imagine if you have peers that are high spending, you're going to spend a lot of money too. One night out with some spendy people would cost a few $100s, but if you have some thrifty friends, you can just play board games or do potluck and it might only cost you 20 bucks. Looking on the other side of this coin, on the marketing side, selling to Henrys is very, very profitable. In fact, this segment of the market accounts for about 40% of all consumer spending. Let's step back a bit and think about why anybody would want to buy luxury goods. For one, you might want to signal affluence that you are well off. Some luxury goods may retain value like certain watches, certain handbags, but many actually do not. For most luxury goods, the price paid is for the branding itself. The increase of the price is not proportional to the utility. One quick example would be the price of shoes. If you buy $100 shoes, it's gonna last you couple years. But if you buy $1,000 shoes, it's not going to last you 20 years. Sometimes buying luxury goods is good for business because you want to look the part, you want to look well off in order to attract more business. You can think of this as a tool to help you make more money. On top of this, if you signal affluence, you're probably going to get better customer service because if they treat you well, they know they're going to get a bigger tip. You're going to get preferential treatment at high-end restaurants, luxury goods stores, and luxury car dealerships. I know I got really terrible treatment when I went to the Porsche dealership I wanted to test drive a car and see if I could buy one. I walked in as an engineer, and you guys know I probably don't dress very well. I just had jeans and I don't think a t-shirt or anything, like maybe a collared shirt. But basically, they paid me zero attention. They didn't even ask me how I was doing or whatnot, if I wanted to test drive something. No, there's nothing like that. So why do they do this? Because I look like I can't afford to buy that car. Why should they spend the time to help you if they're not going to get anything out of it? The sad truth is the masses is going to judge you based on how you look, the first impression, not how many zeros you have in your bank account. Now, I say this as a general rule. There will be exceptions where some people have really great experiences with someone, even though you dress really sloppy and they gave you really great customer service, and because they treated you well, you bought the car. I'd say that's an exception, and you're just trying to win the lottery here, because most people is not going to treat you well if you do not look the part. I think what's interesting with Henry's is that you're a high earner and yet you're not rich. You should be rich. As a high earner, you should easily be able to amass a lot of wealth because you're earning so much money. I want to show you guys an example of where I think someone should be buying luxury goods and where someone should not be buying it. Person A, $250,000 income, 100K net worth, spends $10,000 on a bag or watch, which I do not recommend. Person B, $250,000 income, same age, everything, and yet they have $3 million of net worth. How did they get to this point? Maybe they saved a lot all along the way, not keeping up with the Joneses, and they're able to amass this much in maybe 10 years or so. They also spend 10K on a bag or watch. In public, these two people wearing the same bag or watch, they're gonna look almost identical in terms of wealth. Person A actually spent 10% of their net worth on some luxury good, whereas person B only spent 0.3% of their net worth. Person A wants to appear like person B, and they're doing a good job at it because no one can tell the difference, except they're overextending their budget. Person B, on the other hand, is only spending 0.3% of their net worth. They already amassed 3 million of net worth, so it might even pay for itself. Lastly, I want to talk about how to choke off on this luxury spending. For one, it really helps to develop a thick skin, not caring what people think of you. If you minimize social media usage, you're not going to want things as much. You're not even going to be aware that there's certain luxury goods to buy. Lastly, if you require less social approval, then you're not going to be buying things in order to gain this social approval. How do you exactly do this? Is to replace that need with a purpose in life. Finding your purpose is probably one of the most important things you can do in your life. If you don't, you literally will die sooner just meandering around. To find a purpose, you need to go do something that you're good at, that you get paid in, the world needs. And that's just the mechanics of finding what it is exactly. In the process of working towards whatever your goal is, you would start making slight progress. It's addicting, it feels good, and it sort of feeds your soul. You might work in a career where you are kind of stagnating, you're not learning anything new. That's when you feel kind of down. Learning a new skill within your field could help. You don't exactly have to learn stuff all the time. Maybe you're just applying your skill as a doctor or dentist and you're helping a lot of people out. The progress here would be every single patient or client as a lawyer, you are helping them in different ways. Thanks for watching this video on the explanation of Henry's. Don't forget to give me a like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.